Hello. So, occasionally, as you might expect, I check in with Armando Calvo, Christ Righteous Ministries, because, of course I do, he's incredible. And recently, this has gifted me with some amazing information that you need to hear. I know how excited we all were when Armando's first book finally came out, but he now has 2 more books coming out. Well, a book and a half. Well, not really a half, a book and some fraction of a book. He's got announcement videos for both of these books, and we're going to go through them and learn the details, and get excited, because you know what's coming.
Mighty Lord Jesus Christ.
I didn't cut the start off by accident, that's just how it starts.
Woo! Here we got it, guys. We have the officially refreshed, newly updated version of the book God Is.
Yep, so that's the first book, the re-release of God Is, with presumably all the problems fixed, and thus no words inside or on the cover, I assume.
This book has been reviewed.
Could you elaborate on that? Do you mean by Lulu that time that they took it down off their website and asked you if you committed rampant plagiarism and you said no, and so they put it back up? Or do you mean something else?
It has been copyrighted, so all rights are reserved. All of the content in here belongs to me.
Assuming the content has changed to not just be other people's content, then yes. Whatever you wrote already belonged to you. You already had the copyright, Armando. You don't have to register copyright to get copyright. I don't understand. Are you saying you paid to register with the Copyright Office? Okay, I guess. It doesn't change anything. But man, I really hope that you removed all the copyrighted material from your book before you did that, or changed it so that it's clear that these are quotes from other sources. And I think removing the dozens of pages in a row you stole from some website would probably be a good idea. I don't think using other people's material for like 1 full quarter or third of your book continuously is something you could get away with just saying, well, it's a quotation. I cited the sources in the back.
I own the content on here. It has been reviewed, it has been checked off, marked off, and it has been officially copyrighted. So
reviewed, checked off, marked off. I don't know what these things mean. Did you hire an editor? Did you run it through one of those like essay plagiarism check websites? I don't know what you're saying.
Also, what I do want to announce is that I will be republishing this book on lulu.com.
Oh, finally you're going to let this book be released publicly again, instead of printing and shipping it out manually, apparently, or whatever you were doing before. So I can actually get a copy and see what you've done. I'm more than happy to provide you with a couple of ice cream calzones. Enjoy, on me.
So, after discontinuing my publishing with Lulu, I decided that I'm going to go back with lulu.com, being that that's actually where I order my books from whenever I want to personally, sell them.
You order your books from Lulu whenever you want to personally sell them. So you had God Is up as a private listing, and you were ordering from Lulu to yourself with all the fees and shipping costs and everything that implies, and then you were manually mailing them out to people? Nah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that you had any orders.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Look at that.
Yeah. That's God Is, period. I have visual confirmation.
Oh, man. Oh, I got that matte feel.
Oh, no more glossy. I hope it's not that kind of matte printed paperback that always gets fingerprints all over it. I hate that.
Oh, wow. Wow, oh, wow. It is beautiful.
So while he's not showing us the book and doing the fake suspense thing, I want to point out, I'm not going to comment too much about the cover of the book or anything about the book, because I want to save that. I want to do some fake suspense stuff myself. But if I manage to get a copy of this book, I'll definitely compare the covers, among other things, and just see what's been fixed and what hasn't been fixed. I know from watching this video that there are a lot of things that have not been fixed, but there are some that have.
It is gorgeous. Wow. Wow. It's like I'm saying wow and I haven't even shown you guys yet.
Yeah, I know. You're doing a thing to try to build suspense. It's not working. It's building annoyance.
Man, my book looks good. What?
I don't believe you.
Bang. Here we go, guys.
So it looks the same as before, but you replace the picture of a galaxy and stars with a picture of some kind of nebula, I guess. I don't see anything else different.
Here we go. God Is, new look.
Oh yeah, also you wrote New Look at the top. What a change. Also, isn't that the kind of thing you write on like a box of cookies after you change the packaging so people know it's the same brand? It seems kind of superfluous here. It's like you put that on there because you think you're supposed to put it there. Books that get republished multiple times are often published with different covers on them. They don't write New Look at the top on every one to make sure that people know it's the same book. They know it's the same book.
The inescapable truth of an all-knowing, almighty, omniscient, omnipotent, all-powerful creator.
Yeah, even the repetition in the subtitle isn't fixed. Hopefully at least the period in place of a comma is. I can't tell from your video, so I'll have to take a look at the actual book.
And then, of course, we have the back. The back.
I have some things to say about the back, but I'll save that until I have the book, because judging by what Armando says in the rest of this video, I have a bad feeling that there's not going to be much to say about this book beyond the cover.
And the great part of this is this part right here. Copyright officially, don't mind my finger, but I got it copyrighted, all rights reserved.
It was already copyrighted, Armando. Registration is only for proof of copyright, meaning proof that your work existed before someone stole it and tried to republish it. You know, like all the people that you stole from to make your book could do because they published their books years before your book. I really hope you've made some serious changes to your book and you're not playing around with fraudulently registering copyright.
Whoo! I'm so happy. So officially, I had to get it reviewed, and I kind of wanted to get it copyrighted anyways because I wanted to make sure that everything in my book is good and that I could sell it, and so that it can pretty much just shut all the controversy down about, like quote-unquote plagiarism and stuff like that. So I wanted to get it professionally checked.
What does that mean? I still don't know what that means. Did you sign up with the Copyright Office and submit your work to register it, and then assume that that means that they've somehow checked it, validated it as to whether it's your work? Is that what you mean? If that's not what you mean, I have no idea what you do mean. I don't know what it means to get your work checked for plagiarism or copyright infringement or something, professionally. I don't know what that means. Who does that? If you have copyright infringement in your work, just take it out. You don't need a professional checker. That's not a real job, I don't think. The closest I could think of is an editor who would say, hey, what the hell are you doing?
And here we go. Copyright. All rights reserved. You guys see it here from 2022 to 2023. All rights are reserved.
Yeah, I see it. It literally changes nothing. To be honest, I'm just surprised you didn't already have like a copyright page in the front of your book. Also, that date range you're using, 2022 to 2023, it's not 2023 yet. Are you planning to keep changing the book in 2023 so you're preemptively putting 2023 copyright on it? That's what the date ranges are for. They're for things that are continuously changing, like websites. So you put, for example, when you started the website, 2005, whatever, and then the current year to say that it's still being updated and the stuff that's newer is copyrighted as of the year it was put on the site. That's why you use the range. It doesn't make sense on a book.
And right here, so the only thing that I had to make sure that I placed on here was all the resources and in every quote and website and book that I used to be able to write this book. I made sure to update it and place it at the back of the book. Also within the book, which I didn't do before, I kind of just threw around names, giving credit throughout the book, but I ended up putting it in the back of the book so it can be clear as day for people who want to pick up this book.
All right then. Well, I'm really looking forward to taking a look at the back of that book then. I'm hopeful, but I'm not hopeful, if you understand my meaning.
I actually just finished my second book. I don't have a soundboard, so I'll clap for myself.
And guess what the second video we're gonna look at is? But it's not time for that yet. I'm a YouTuber. I gotta build artificial suspense.
I haven't talked about the book yet. I'm going to order me a copy because I'm going to review my book to make sure that there's no spelling errors. I could read it off of the laptop, but to be honest, being on the phone or anything with LED light too long, it really makes my eyes hurt. So if I'm going to read my full book, I'm actually just going to order a physical copy and just use a highlighter or a pen and just circle or highlight the particular areas that I got to fix. And then when I do that, after I read the book and review it, I'm gonna go back to my laptop and fix the errors.
You've finished your second book, but by that you mean you haven't run a spell check or a grammar check yet. In what way is that finished? That makes it sound like you just typed it out stream of consciousness, reached a point where you want it to stop, and called it done. And you don't want to read it, so you're just going to send it to the printers and get an overpriced copy shipped to you instead of just printing it yourself or taking it to a local print shop, so that you can manually look for spelling and grammatical errors with a highlighter and a pen. Which is not going to go well because, again, I don't want to spoil the back cover too much before I get a chance to look at it in person, but you just read the sentence, "If it's true that God exists, wouldn't you want to know?" without batting an eye.
What happens to seeking and accepting the truth? If it's true that God exists, wouldn't you want to know?
So good luck with your highlighter there, pal.
This book right here, my next book, this book, blown out of the water.
Possibly, depending how thorough you are with that highlighter. Just kind of scribble wildly on every page and then go to your laptop and delete it.
Like, I don't even have to worry about this book no more. I'm being so honest.
Well, then why are you worrying about it? The entire way through this entire clusterfuck, the wise course of action would have been to just forget about it. Just go, okay, I fucked that up. Gonna write a new book. Forget this one. That was a mistake. Moving on. I'm just not gonna worry about it. But you keep worrying about it.
Honestly, I would prefer people pick up my new book rather than this book.
Oh, don't worry. You got one customer here. Please, nobody else buy this book, okay? I'll get it. You'll get to see what's in it. Please don't fund this nonsense, okay? Seriously.
If you want fresh, new content, arguments that you have never heard before, arguments that are going to make you tear apart the atheistic position, even in your school or at, the park or wherever you go, your college, friends and family that disbelieve in God. If you want to have fresh, new material, the new book is what you're going to want to get.
Man, do you have any idea how big of a fan I am of God Is? Do you have any idea how excited I am for a full book of Almondo originals? I really hope your new book is not just another mess of plagiarized material. I really hope you're serious that these are arguments you made up, that you actually want people to go and start yelling about in the park. Like a Kid Before Christmas doesn't even begin to describe how excited I am about this.
Because this new book, my intentionality when writing the new book, I wanted to give fresh, new content. Arguments that have never been heard before, arguments that have never been used.
Prediction. Most of it is just old, boring, tired Christian arguments that have been debunked 1,000 times. If I'm wrong, I will be so happy, but unfortunately, I really doubt that I am.
Clearly, arguments that I have created, arguments that I have come up with. Unfortunately, I don't have specific names for the arguments that I've come up with. I didn't name them. I didn't label them. I just present them. I just present the arguments.
I can only imagine that I'll be able to help you out with some names for a few of them. And I don't mean freshly made up mocking names. I mean names of incredibly stock standard Christian apologetic arguments. But again, we'll see. I have never hoped to be wrong this bad in my life. I'm hoping for something creatively on par with Shmuel Paulin's Babies Never Eat or Division is a Lie. Don't let me down, Almondo.
And personally, I'm very confident that my next book will probably be one of the best apologetic books. One of them.
You're confident that your stream of consciousness rambling in Google Docs that you've neither read nor spell-checked is going to be one of the best apologetics books ever. Where do you get your confidence? I don't understand how you're so overwhelmingly confident about everything you ever do, even though it's completely terrible every time. I wish I had your level of confidence. Unfortunately, I know what I don't know, I recognize when I fuck up, I know my weaknesses and imperfections, and so I can't have that level of confidence. Seriously, I'm kind of jealous. But on the other hand, not having that level of confidence is part of the reason why I'm good at the things I am good at, because I understand what I need to improve, and then improve it. And so, yeah, ultimately I think I'm better off this way.
Me, I'm so confident that this is going to be one of the greater apologetic books, being that they are new argumentations that have never been heard, and it's definitely going to put atheists in the mud. They're definitely going to be caught off guard with these, and they're definitely going to be questioning their position.
Not sure if I'll be questioning my position, but I bet I will be caught off guard. I'm really hoping that I will be caught off guard by some of your arguments. Believe me, when I read All In for God by Rabbi Shmuel Paulin, I was caught off guard many a time. And it was awful, but also I really, really, really loved it. But I know you got it in you, Armando, to be better than Rabbi Shmuel Paulin. I think you can do it. He might have bested you the first round, but the fight's not over yet.
And it's without a doubt. It is without a doubt. They can deny it all they want, but it's without a doubt. I mean, unless you have the answer for these arguments, like right off the top, then you're going to be sitting there thinking for a while. You're going to be trying to put all the pieces together like, dang, I've never heard this before, and this makes sense.
You had me agreeing with you right up until the last 4 words. I bet you I will have to sit there thinking for a while about how to even address what you're saying. In the sense of, this is fractally wrong. It's wrong on every level. No matter how much you zoom in, you find more and more ways that it's wrong. And if it's something new, straight from you, that I actually haven't heard before, then yeah, I bet I will have to take some time. Possibly in a mental ward in a straitjacket to avoid hurting myself.
So I need to sit here and I need to try to refute it. I need to try to break this argument down. It's going to take you a bit to do it. It's going to take you a while to try to break down the arguments in this book. I guarantee, and I will put money on it.
No. I'm the one that's going to pay you. The money only has to go in one direction, as long as the book comes in my direction. But I really like the assertions you're making. It's kind of revealing. It's not that I won't be able to debunk your arguments, it's just it's going to waste a lot of my time. It's that typical thing where it takes 10 seconds to throw out one bad argument, but it takes 10 minutes to debunk it. That's incredibly possible. That doesn't mean your arguments are good. In fact, that reflects very poorly on your arguments, not well. It shows that the point isn't to make good arguments, it's just to spam garbage that takes a whole bunch of time to unweave the complexities of the stupidity. That shouldn't be the goal.
I will put money on it. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. So, in the arguments, knowing atheists, they'll just try to sound smart and they'll just try to propose arguments that literally still steal from the theistic world to try to refute arguments for God's existence.
I cannot believe that you're parroting this stuff. Atheists are stealing from the Christian worldview. No. Is that going to be one of the arguments in the book? One of the ones you think is original to you? That's a big waste of time to unravel?
But here's what I'm going to do. After this book is published, after this book is available for sale, for purchase, I'm going to challenge atheists. I'm going to personally challenge them. And I'm going to put up maybe a $50 gift card, Amazon gift card, okay? For anybody who can completely destroy every argument in every chapter of my book.
Oh, good. So people can spend hours and hours going through your entire book of intentionally time-wasting arguments, dismantling them in excruciating detail, all in the hopes of getting a $50 gift card for all that effort, just for you, of course, to say, no, I don't think you debunked my arguments. I disagree. How stupid do you think people are? Even if you were like a billionaire and you offered $1 billion, it wouldn't make any difference. It's a competition based on whether or not somebody destroyed every argument in your book, every single one, in your opinion, with you as the judge. Everyone knows what the outcome would be. It's set in advance. It'd be obvious to a brain-damaged manatee that this is just some idiotic rhetoric.
And like I said, it's going to take them a while to try to come up with rebuttals. It's going to take them a while to try to come up with arguments to try to destroy these arguments because they're brand new.
Yeah, it'll take them so long, but they'll do it to not get a $50 gift card. That makes it worth it. God damn it, you look so stupid when you do stuff like this. You'd think you'd learn after a while.
Arguments that have never been heard. Some of them obviously have been heard, but the majority of them never been heard because I made them up. I discovered them. I observed them through my experiences, through the revelation by which God has given me. I've had a lot of help through the power of the Holy Spirit, through God, and, to write this book.
Oh, God helped this time. Well, that should make the book exactly as bad as it already would have been. Actually, I'm pretty sure you said that about the last book, too, if I remember correctly. And look how that worked out.
And like I said, I don't want repetitive rebuttals that just continuously steal aspects of reality from the theistic world. I'm expecting new material from you guys, because that's what's to be expected. New material being given, there must be new material being given in return.
Maybe, if it's appropriate and necessary, and if not, then not. We'll have to see what the new material is, but assuming they are actually new arguments mostly, I strongly suspect that just pointing out some fallacious reasoning will be sufficient in most cases, but we'll see.
Because you can't use the same type of rebuttals for arguments that are unique in their own sense, in their own way, that need a specific, I guess, argument against it in order to kind of break it down.
Okay, look, I've looked at a lot of videos and articles and books and other things that were supposedly somebody's totally original argument. And in the case of Shmuel Paulin, I admit he had some new arguments there, or at least ones I hadn't heard. I gotta give him credit for that. But most of the time, it's just a repackaged version of an old argument, or just a very typical example of some basic logical fallacy. Very, very rarely is it necessary to go beyond that, even for arguments that the author thinks are brand new and never heard before. Normally, the ones where just pointing out the fallacious reasoning is not enough are the ones that are utterly incoherent, and so you can't even respond properly to them because you can't understand what's being said, because it's just a big old bowl of word salad with ranch dressing, which sometimes I go for as a healthy option.
As an atheist, I expect more from you guys, okay?
I don't give a shit. You get correct answers. It doesn't really matter what you think of them.
Stop stealing from the theistic world. Don't steal from God.
Oh yeah, he said it twice. That's definitely going to be in the book. I bet that'll be in the introduction to the book.
Take from your foundation. Take from the foundation of the atheistic worldview. Take from there, right? No standard, because you guys don't have a standard, okay? The only standard you guys go off of is human standard, your self standard.
You have no standard, but you have the human standard and your self standard. But you have no standard. Is the book going to be full of blatant self-contradiction, too? I like that. That's my favorite.
So I'm expecting for you guys to come hard.
Excuse me?
Oh, man, it feels so good.
Yeah, I guess.
Man, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Definitely feels amazing.
Yeah, sure, it's great, Please stop. Okay, I admit I took a couple of those clips just a tiny bit out of context. Just a little bit.
The next book is going to be smaller. It's going to be a regular size book.
Spoiler, no it's not.
The size of this book, I actually didn't mean to make it this size. So when I first designed this book, I didn't realize that there was a settings all the way at the bottom to change the size of the book. I was actually trying to make it a normal size.
Wait, okay, so this is your second version, your reprint. That's what you held up just now, and you still didn't get it to be the right size, the size you want. So 2 times in a row, you didn't think to look at the settings on Lulu before you published your book and started trying to sell it to people to see if it was the size you wanted. You don't read your book after you write it, probably not while you write it either. You don't check the spelling or the grammar before you call it finished, and you didn't check the size options on the self-publishing website before you started self-publishing it. How are we still discovering ways in which you're incredibly lazy as an author? I thought we had exhausted every possibility, but here we are.
If you guys didn't know what the old book looked like, it looked like this. Okay? So, yeah, there's definitely a major difference.
There's not that major of a difference. But so I checked on Lulu, and it turns out the page size that they print on is based on the page size in the PDF you upload. Go figure. And so all you had to do was go to Google Docs, change the page size, and reprint your PDF and upload that instead. You know, format your book the way you want it formatted before you send it to the fucking publisher. But you just didn't bother, even though you wanted it to be a different size. Because as much as, yeah, maybe you kind of want it to be a different size, you don't really care. You don't care how your book actually turns out. At every step of the way, the laziness is off the charts. I just cannot believe it.
And also, look at that stamp of approval. Bang, bang. Stamp of approval.
God damn it, a copyright symbol is not a stamp of approval. It's not issued by someone. It doesn't imply that anyone else ever looked at your book. It's a symbol that means your book's copyrighted. Your book was already copyrighted, Armando. At least the parts you wrote. You could have been using that from the start. You don't need approval. Who are you even talking about who issued this stamp? What governing body controls the usage of the copyright symbol on books? Nobody.
This one didn't have the stamp of approval. I never got it reviewed, so.
I wish I could find out what I got it reviewed even means, but I really don't think I ever will. It's just going to be an eternal mystery.
This still has the same material in here. Nothing inside has changed, okay?
What?
It's only the outside look and the stamp of approval, of course.
You didn't change anything inside the book? Nothing? Nothing. I mean, forget the plagiarism. Did you just get the spelling vaguely correct anywhere? Did you remove the Futurama monster from page 41? Did you fix the table of context? I know you said you added a few pages at the back of references. Great, I guess. Congratulations. But tell me that's not all you did. It sounds like that's all you did.
I'm sure people are going to want the one with the stamp of approval for the simple fact that if they say, oh, that's not even a legit book or whatever. No, actually, yeah, it is.
Armando, if somebody picks up your book and says, wait a minute, I read a bunch of this and I don't have enough faith to be an atheist, and you say, yeah, but look, I printed a copyright symbol on the back cover, that's not going to convince them you didn't plagiarize when you obviously plagiarized. If you tell them, no, I got a stamp of approval, their first question will probably be, from who? And your answer will be, what? The Council of Copyright. They meet in a dark chamber at night in red robes and place each book on the altar and chant to the gods of copyright. And if the book catches not into flames, the gods approve. I don't know, that's the most sensible answer I can think of.
Stamp of approval right there. Bang. Stamp of approval.
You actually believe that copyright symbol means something, don't you? You probably filed it with the Copyright Office, and then you put a copyright symbol on the book, and you think that means that the US government has said that your book is in fact not plagiarized. That's it, isn't it? I think that's it. You actually think that's what that means, don't you? Because you're too lazy to bother to figure out what any of this means, what any of the stuff you do actually means. The fact that anyone has the ability to care this little about the things they do is just amazing to me.
The official date of my new book will be in Thanksgiving, okay? It'll be on Thanksgiving or the night before Thanksgiving is when the book will officially release.
I've reserved the entire day and the 2 days before and after it. I'm really, really into getting this book.
I just want to make sure that everything in here is spelled correctly and the punctuations are right where they need to be and everything like that. So I just want to make sure everything is in the right place. So
you better be sure, because now that you've promised to fix the spelling and grammar, I will dock points if you don't.
This next book is definitely going to be, I'm actually going to be selling my next book through Barnes and Noble, Christian bookstores, Target, Walmart.
At any given moment, I can't decide if you're totally delusional or totally full of shit. I think it's just a mix of both. Target and Walmart are not going to buy your book. How many books do you think are written every year in comparison to how many are on their shelves?
I'm going to be trying to contact other apologists so they can read my book and maybe hopefully review it and also hopefully promote my book, I'm going to send a copy to Frank Turek, J. Warner Wallace. If I could get in touch with William Lane Craig and their team, I would love to just send them, a copy of my book. Even if it's trying to send them a copy of my book through, what is that called?
The mail?
It's like something mail.
Is it the mail?
Post mail or something like, I don't even know what it's called.
You mean sending mail through the post office?
But whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Best stick to FedEx. Gets those calzones to you nice and fresh.
Their mailbox, not their mailbox. It's, what is it called?
Their mailbox.
Post mail? Mailbox?
The mail. Through the goddamn mail.
Something mail. I don't even know. It's something mail, but yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Do I? I mean, obviously, I assume you just mean the male, but I'm also thinking maybe there's some other thing with male in the name that I don't know about that makes more sense for you to have forgotten, because I don't think you're this dumb. I think you know what the male is, I hope. Alright, on to the video about the second book. Hopefully this one's a little quicker. I should really stop saying that. I feel like every time I do that, it goes the other way.
Here it is, guys. I have my new book. And we are going to unbox it together.
Boo, just show us the book.
This is not the, this one hasn't been officially reviewed and copyrighted.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Armando, your book is copyrighted, and you don't need somebody else to review your work to get a copyright. Just don't copy everyone else's shit and put it in your book, and you're fine. It's so frustrating having to say this so many times. How did you not figure any of this out? People were teaching you about copyright the whole way through the previous incident. You've had every opportunity to learn. You've had people trying to give you this information, and you still refuse to understand. It's willful ignorance at this point. It has to be. There's no other option.
For my next coming up books, I'm gonna make sure that I get them reviewed, and I'm going to get them copyrighted.
God grant me the serenity.
Here it goes, guys. It is going to be the same size as God is, okay?
Okay, I mean, I know you said in the last video that you wanted to make it smaller, but you screwed up the formatting on your first book. You might as well just stick with the pattern.
I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to do a smaller version, like a 6x9, but I was like, you know what? For the series of these type of books, my apologetic books, because I have my own personal style, I think I might just keep it big.
Yeah, but your personal style isn't a style. It's defined by your screw-up, not understanding how to make the book smaller. Oh, whatever.
Oh, man, this is...
Oh, shut up. Just show us the book.
Oh, man. Oh, man, okay.
Yeah, keep it off screen. That'll build suspense. You're supposed to do that or something.
Y'all ready?
Yes, come on.
This looks so good, man. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. I just want to thank you, God.
I thought you made the cover.
Thank you, God. All right. Here it goes.
Yeah.
Whoop-bam! Here we go. A conscious universe.
A conscious universe. The incredible cause that had an amazing plan. Well, I like the font better.
So... Man, I'm so happy, man. Like, look at this thing.
What are you happy about? Like, okay, your book has a cover, but what's in it? You haven't even read it. You don't even know what's in it.
I created and designed the full cover myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but then you go and thank Jesus for it. I am curious where all that imagery came from, because I don't think that you made it. You might have kind of pieced it together, but yeah. Another thing to look into when the time comes.
This part might change. Right now, it's called the foretitle or the secondary title. I forgot what it's called, but
the male. Oh, never mind. That was last time.
You got the skull with the galactic mind.
Yeah, you actually put a galaxy brain meme on the front of your book.
And then we got the back here.
From nothing to something, and then I think that's a comma. We now have an incredible complex creation that supports life. Could nothing bring about something, presumably really bring about something, without an intelligent, powerful, personal, willful, and purposeful conscience? Conscience? Oh man, this is looking good. Would the universe still exists today? So over here on God Is, the new version, you have, if it's true that God exists, wouldn't you want to know? And then here we have, would the universe still exists today? You got it wrong on both books. You've got it completely backwards when you put the S on there. Oh my God. Okay, so without the possibility of a mind beyond creation, sustaining, one line just for the word sustaining, everything by its pure will and power? Is the universe itself the cause of everything, or is there something greater beyond all of this phenomenal creation? Is there good reason to believe that the cause was God? I believe that there is not only good reason to believe that the amazing cause was God, I also believe that there is undeniable, irrefutable, convincing evidence that it was God. And then at the bottom there, you have a list of resources just like you added to God Is, which is strange considering that supposedly this book is supposed to be pretty much all original and certainly not taken from other people's work.
As you see, it's not verified. There's no copyright down here.
I got nothing more to say about this verified thing. I'm just confused and bewildered, and yeah.
Because I haven't got it. I haven't got it verified like this one. This one has copyrights reserved.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I wanted to make sure that I got it check marked and made it official, so I got the copyright copyright badge right here because this book has been out for a while, so I was able to get it reviewed, get it looked at, and I was able to get it officially copyrighted.
Copyright registration primarily is for before your book comes out. The point is to show that you had it before it was published. You can even file different versions of it to show that you were actually working on it and changing it. And that's to help demonstrate that you in fact are the author. Your book doesn't need to be out for a while to do it. That defeats the entire purpose. And if you're getting someone to review your book to see if it's riddled with plagiarism or not, that too you would think would be most effective to do before you publish the book, because the point is to make sure that you don't publish a bunch of plagiarized, stolen material.
2022, 2023.
So your copyright officialness expires in 2023, apparently. You probably could have saved yourself some money if you figured out what the fuck copyright is and how it works. I don't know how much it costs to register something with the Copyright Office, but it can't be free, surely. And I certainly don't know how much it costs to get it reviewed because I have no clue what that means because that's not a thing. But I feel like you're spending a lot of money you really don't need to spend. Your intentional ignorance is costing you money. Same with you ordering fucky copies of your book so you can spell check them.
This book right here, what I love about my new book is that everything is unique, everything is new, and everything is original.
Yeah, but that's not true. In the last video you said, well, obviously some of the stuff isn't new, but most of it is. And that's supported by the fact that you have that list of resources on the back. But now you're back to insisting again that it's all original. Make up your mind.
So what I mean by that is that the material in this book are going to be arguments that you have never heard and that are irrefutable. Why? Because even for the time being, these are fresh new arguments for the existence of God and the reliability of the New Testament. These are fresh new arguments that have never been heard from any apologist, and arguments that have never been heard before.
And that makes them irrefutable. The fact that you made them up and they're new, supposedly, means that they can't be refuted, as if people's refutations are just them repeating things other people made up. No, you can present me with a new argument and I can refute it just by thinking about it. I don't need someone else to tell me what the refutation is. I can just figure it out. I don't need some atheist Bible to tell me the answers.
Atheists are going to have a lot of fun with this book because they're going to have new arguments where they have to try to refute it, which I personally believe they're going to have a very tough time trying to refute these arguments.
Maybe, but tough time or not really isn't the point. The point is you said they're irrefutable, that it is impossible to refute them. If it takes me a day of work to figure out how to refute one, that doesn't mean it's not refutable. It means it's just a little bit annoying. But to be honest, I don't foresee too much of that. You never know.
Would the universe still exist today?
Wait, are you not going to break out the highlighter and pen for that? Would the universe still exists today? You're not going to... nothing? Okay, I guess you'll catch it later. I guess your LED screen was too bright to read the back cover, too. Couldn't have done that beforehand or anything. You wouldn't want to get a headache looking at your dark purple cover.
You are going to see some references from some of the resources that I used. I put right here, resources used. I gave credit to the Holy Bible. Don't worry, guys. I gave credit to God, okay? I ain't plagiarizing God's word. I gave credit to God. Don't worry, okay? I made sure to include our Creator, okay? Same with everybody else, because if I don't include God, the author of the Holy Bible, they're going to come at me with that one as well. Okay? Unless they're inconsistent and they don't try to come at me about Bible verses.
Armando, of course, if you copied like 10 pages out of the Bible and you presented it in a way meant to imply that it's your own work, putting it in line within your own paragraphs and stuff, with no hint that it's from somewhere else, that the only people who will know that it's from somewhere else are people who already know where that text is from, yeah, I would go after you for that. That's absurd. That's the behavior of an idiot. It's your standard mode of operation. Now, of course, it wouldn't be copyright infringement because it's public domain, but I frankly don't care about copyright infringement. I just think it's really, really pathetic to copy somebody else's work and try to pass it off as yours. It's not an issue of law or copyright or anything like that. It's an issue of character.
So this is... You got
strength, energy, something... proper functionality, and even mental focus. Lack of food could cause starvation leading to death. Oh, well, you remembered food. That's a good sign. The something of these 4 basic elements seem to play the most important role in all of life. Seem to play. Sexual health and the reproduction of life. Without any of these factors, life could not survive, let alone exist. Losing one of these factors could cause a dysfunction in the body as well, causing damage to one's life with the threat of death. So as we can see, the pattern and order of life seems to something with these 4 elements that make life possible. Now I have a question. What reason or purpose does the universe have that provokes life to arise and progress? Why is life important in a universe to a universe that has no intentionality on bringing forth life for any particular reason? And how did the universe figure out the needs for these 4 important elements that happen to support life? What, like food? And why apply them to the 3 main sources of life? Plants, animals, and humans. Apply them to them. Plants, animals, and humans are chemical systems. The need for food isn't like applied to them. It's inherent to them. This seemed to point to a source, again with the seem, that had the ability to set these things in place in that particular way, I guess, maybe. It seems to support, really, with an S on the end. That's a surprise. It seems to support the idea that this source must have a mind and intention of bringing forth life, because only a mind and a will with the intention to support life through specific natural laws could establish that with such precision. I think that might say precision, I'm not sure. This demonstrates that the laws of life, when the universe and all of nature obeys these laws, I don't know, giving worship and praise to the source by their obedience. Unless the universe has a mind of its own and a set of intentional goals, then we can conclude that there must be a transcendent being beyond the universe that had set these something in place. Interestingly enough, that being exists, and he had revealed himself about 2,000 years ago in the person of Jesus Christ. In fact, Jesus makes reference to these 4 important whatever of life. Without the need for scientific observation and study, it seems that something, blah blah blah, can't read the rest. Well, oh boy, already with that 1 page I have a lot to say. This might be a long set of videos. I hope this book is short, because already this 1 page is a complete train wreck.
Like I said, here we go. The category is apologetics.
So again, you have the spine printed upside down, so it's upside down when the book is face up. You didn't even bother to fix that on your 2nd book, and you don't even have the full title on the spine. ACU. You would have had plenty of space if you just took off the pointless apologetics label.
And I'm going to make sure that I get my book copyrighted before I actually release it. I want to make sure I got that stamp of approval.
Haven't we been through something like this before? Yeah, it was when Lulu put his book back up, right? And then he was like, yeah, it's been reviewed, it's been confirmed that it's not plagiarism by Lulu.com, this service that didn't bother to look at it and give 0 fucks. And then now we have the same thing playing out again with, apparently, the United States Copyright Office. I don't understand this fantasy world Armando lives in inside his head.
This one, I'm actually going to go for getting out at Walmart, Target, Barnes & Noble. I'm going to try to get this book everywhere, okay?
You know, man, I wish you luck, I guess. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. This whole idea is ludicrous. You should know this. You're a grown man.
This is going to be such an incredible necessity of an apologetic book. like me myself, I've blown myself away with the material that I have put in here, that I've come up with.
Seriously, the confidence. I don't understand the confidence. How do you get this undeservedly confident about everything you do? I feel like this is the ego that comes with genuine stupidity. Every person I've ever met who was really, truly, deeply, genuinely stupid was also remarkably confident and had a huge ego. These really seem to go hand in hand. I really think part of it is just not being smart enough to see where the gaps are in your knowledge and understanding and skills.
I just gotta say, I know God's hand was in this book. He literally directed me, and he definitely helped me decide certain chapters, because I came to a point where I didn't even know what to write about. I was like, okay, I'm at chapter 7. I got 3 more chapters because my target is 10.
You started out with a goal of how many chapters you wanted to write? Why didn't you just write a list of the chapters you wanted to write, and then that's the correct number for your book? You know, the number of different things you want to talk about. Why would the topic of quantity even come up in the first place? You know, you write the book as it should be. You write the book to finality, and then that's how it is. I know, okay? I don't even know why I ask these questions either. I just do. It's what I do. It's my equivalent of banging my head on a brick wall. It's just what I do to pass the time, I guess.
I'm like, I don't even know, I have no idea what to write another chapter about. And by the grace of God, by the power of his Holy Spirit, he embedded some information within me, and I was just like, all right, I got this. I'm on a roll. Ba, 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 ba.
So you didn't know what to use as filler for the last 3 chapters that for some reason you thought were necessary, and then God told you what to fill it with. Well, I guess I should probably pay special attention to those last chapters and see just how fillery they are.
And then he did the same thing for chapter 9 and 10, because I'm telling you, I was stuck. I was like in a corner. I was like, what else do I write? I put so much into the first 6, 7 chapters. Now I have no idea what else to write about. I was literally at that point. I had no idea what else to write about, but...
It sounds like it would have been a good place to stop. That's where I'm going as soon as I get that book. Chapter 8. I want to see what low-effort, filler writer's block Elmondo sounds like. I want to see how the hand of God writes a book.
I am going to re-release it on Lulu, but I'm also going to be selling it Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target, and other bookstores around the world, so you guys can get your hands on it.
Oh, so now you're not just going to try to get it into Barnes & Noble and Walmart and Target. Now you are going to be selling it at Barnes & Noble and Walmart and Target. Well, I'm sure that they would love to be informed about this before you make declarations like that. But yeah, it's going to be on Lulu, and only Lulu, forever. Well, no, as soon as it gets pushed back, Almondo will probably just delete it off there too. Well, that's about as much as I really have to say about this. It's going to be a wild ride, clearly. That one page already made my head hurt. And yeah, you're right, Almondo, it probably will take me some time to formulate a response to it, because the terribleness is packed in so densely on that one single page that I could probably talk for 2 hours, just about that. I sure hope the rest of the book is better, but it's not going to be, is it? I'm in for another round of long days and long videos, probably. Oh no. Well, hopefully this made you as excited as it made me. Thanks for watching. If you would, please, before you go, give the video a like and click subscribe if you haven't. If you really like the channel, please do consider supporting. Even the smallest amount helps a ton. And huge thanks to all of my supporters who've already made that decision. If you want early access, sign up to the email list at list.logicked.com, and I'll see you next time.